I understand there what you're saying there, Altera. Adhesion means togetherness, or what the Bible might call ingathering. You know, if you don't gather, you scatter. You know, if you're not drawing everything into one, you're scattering. So, you know, Jesus Christ, when the time was right, God sent the Father so that all things might be brought together into the one, so that he could receive all of us unto himself, and through the union of our participation with Christ, in other words, he knew that the Father of all lights created us all as lights, and that the light of the union will be the light of singularity, which when the eye be single, the whole body will be filled with light, right? So it's like, yeah, there is an ingathering of light. There is an adhesion, the cohesion. There is something that's joining together as a oneness, but it's not like there's only one body. We all have our own wholeness. We all have our own wholeness and self-identity in the Christ reality. It's like, I am Christ, you are Christ, Altera, you know, Elam, you are Christ, Psalm 91, you are Christ, Glory be, you are Christ, Rufus 661, you are Christ, Mislam, you are Christ. Every one of us is Christ, and we all have the inclusion of all lights of the Father of all lights, the creative energy, in the womb of the matrix of the multi-dimensional reality. We all have our own self-identity as that, right? So I just look at your comment there, Altera. Is it the flower of life or what? So we know now through the technology of Kathara, of the freedom teachings, of the Keylontic science, that everything that's been purported through history as far as what the flower of life means, the flower of life is a very stuck metatronic coding that's caused death. We call it, in our teachings, we call it the daisy of death, not the flower of life. The flower of life is a distortion that's been introduced by the intruders to teach people how to spin their Merkaba fields the wrong way, wrong ratio, wrong speeds and feeds and flows, and to create a vortex energy siphoning system that would suck the energy from the environment into the center of each being and down into the black hole through the core of the earth and into the black hole in the center of the galaxy. That's been a deliberate intrusion of mathematical encryption of you know, geometrics, you know, geomancy, to actually cause people to be harvesters of energy for the black hole. Just like the mother Maya, you know, the Mayans, the mother Mayan matrix was also to set harvesting within the templates of the hologram of the earth amongst the tribes. The intruders have been teaching the children and the offspring how to spin their energy flows in wrong directions and ratios and speeds and feeds and fields and shields, and to create electromagnetic distortion fields within themselves and within the earth, because originally all the children on the earth were here for bioregenesis, as guardians of the earth, to regenerate the earth into a biological system that would be perpetual motion life. But when the intruders came, they invaded and hybridized and taught their children to degenerate the earth, so that we could all be giving our life energy into the black hole matrix, which is siphoning us into a finite system. They are sucking our very life blood through the techniques and technologies that through eons of time we've been learning from the intruders. That's why religion and all other systems in the world are working against the best interests of the children of light. There are many dark agents working in the earth to continue these controls. We're going to awaken ourselves, right? We're going to awaken ourselves and return to the Christic principle of life, of perpetual motion regeneration within the biological anatomy of the constructs of our hologram of self-identity. You know, this has been going on for eons of time in the earth. We have many genetic inheritance through the ancestral lines and lineages of our reincarnational cycles. We have many trainings within the body suit that we wear, many distortions. And that's why when we come into reincarnation, in other words, we're trying to reincarnate Christ into the bodysuit, We're trying to reincarnate the true identity into this temple to overcome the distortions. Everyone on the earth is running distortions of some degrees, but when you know you are Christ, when you know you're here to incarnate the true pattern and blueprint of life into the temple that's called your body, and to overthrow the corruption of the ancestral inheritance, when you know that, you'll endeavour to do that. And the host of God is here to assist you with that. Right? The host of God is here. Those true stations of consciousness that remain unaltered above you, of your own individual reality, those stations of consciousness of your own true identity will flow down, and they will install, or you will incarnate those high dimensional spiritual realities into the body of death. And you'll overthrow all of the controls in the body of death, and you'll rise up into life. That's what the resurrection teachings are. You're going to receive the perpetual motion life flows of the organic, authentic, original self-identity that comes into the body of reality by overthrowing the controls of the carnal commands that are the ancestral inheritance that have been given to you in this body. You're here to incarnate truth and overthrow the death, and right back through the annals of time into the dark recesses of your mind. You're going to shine the light of Christ back into all of the members of your family matrix, and you're going to enliven that family tree into the remembrance of the true identity. You're going to help them come in, because you are not complete. You know, what does it say in the Bible? You're not perfected without them. They're waiting on you. They're waiting on you too. You're compassed about by a great cloud of witnesses. You know, you're not made perfect without them, and they're not made perfect without you. They need you to rise up. That's why Jesus went and preached the gospel to those in the time of Noah. He went right back into time and he started speaking truth to them. He said, I've overcome the world, and now I'm speaking truth to you. He spoke to the ancestral members of his genetic inheritance, and he flowed the life of Christ back through the generational matrices that brought him here in space-time. And that's what you're going to do too. You're going to flow into the matrices of space-time, all of those genetic families. You're going to help them find their own correction, you know. You're going to make known to the powers and principalities and rulers of darkness and wickedness in heavenly places. You're going to make known the manifest and manifold wisdom of God, which is Christ is here. It's you. You're going to enliven your generations right back to the beginning of corruption, and you're going to teach them how to be participating with it with you. You know. Anyway, I have the mic. It's a good word, that. It's a good word.